morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the 5 ways people are making millions part 2. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Now as it stands, I asked all of my community the other day what are they doing that's making them millions of gold at this moment in time, and overall we have compiled a tally of which ones are performing the best in order to provide you guys who aren't on the Discord or aren't around at this moment in time to see what is actually performing the best, so you guys can go and get yourself a load of gold. Now bear in mind that a lot of people are actually doing a lot of different multiple things, so don't obviously all go for one thing as you'll completely crash the market. Now that being the case, let's move into number 1, which is the STONEHIDE leather to pants raw gold. Now STONEHIDE leather is a legion skinning material which you can either get from the Warden's area, or if you go over to the Falcosaur is where I found the best spot to be, and that is by killing all the Falcosaurs in Azuna. Now all you have to do is basically go around there, skin all of the mobs, destroy them and all that stuff, and just gather them all up and burn them down. It's really that dead simple. All you have to do is do an hour's worth of that, and then go over to and then send that over to your leather worker, or if you are a leather worker at the same time as being a skinner, then you don't have to change it, but bear in mind that is the case. Now all you have to do is make sure that you have the war pants at rank 3. That is to maximise the amount of gold you're going to be getting from this, as it will reduce the cost of the materials quite considerably in order to craft these pants. Now what you'll be wanting to do then is by gathering up all of your STONEHIDE leather and then crafting those into those war pants, and then vendoring them to your Brutosaur, your Mammoth, or any form of vendor, and you get a load of raw gold. This is tending to be quite lucrative at this moment in time, and the raw gold aspect of it is like stupid raw gold. Like at the moment, these are, as well as a Toll d'Azur, this is another great skinning to vendoring raw gold method in order to get a load of raw gold really easily. No auction house required, it's just that dead simple. I will be doing a guide on this however in the next upcoming week or so, and most likely it will be a Saturday's video, and overall it's just going to be insane overall, and yeah, I highly recommend checking it out as the results at this moment in time is considerably insane. Now that being the case, let's move on to number 2, is the farm to craft. Now I was watching Student's video, and Enchanted Elementium actually sells quite well. As we are on the same server, I know that Enchanted Elementium sells quite well as well. Aside from that, a lot of you guys in the actual Discord actually mentioned Enchanted Elementium is making you a lot of gold on your servers as well, so we've added that into the list as well. So not only have we got another gold maker backing it up, we've got the community backing it up as well, so it's a great way in order to make a decent amount of gold in the grand scheme of things. Now the best way in order to actually get a hold of this is by jumping over to do a farm to craft. Now this is where you would go over to somewhere like Wintergrasp or Silithus. Silithus providing is my most favourite one for farming up arcane crystals, and thorium ore. What you'll be wanting to do is just farm it up for like an hour or so. That you'll gain a load of arcane crystals and thorium ore, which will then you will jump over to your alchemist and turn them into arcanite bars. These are used for your enchanted elementium. The rest of the materials like elementium ingots can be got a hold of through Blackwing Layer, so bear that one in mind as well. And then other than that, you should have enough of the materials in order to craft your enchanted elementium. All of things like Essence of Fire goes like super cheap on your realm, so just buy it off the auction house. There's no point running Molten Core if you're just going to be farming up those, so I would bear in mind that you would actually just buy those off the auction house. It's really not worth your time to investment wise. You could be doing something else while doing that. Overall, just by going through the base results from Worth It, so the ones that are actually built into Worth It for the thorium ore farm, it's roughly around about 2 enchanted elementium for the hours spent. Enchanted elementium actually goes on my run at this moment in time for a little bit less than 10,000 gold, so we're just going to round it up because it's like 9,999. That's basically like 20,000 gold per hour for just doing some transmutes after doing a farm, and you can greatly increase the amount of gold you're going to get for that hour. Now, bear that one in mind when you're actually going to be doing this, as obviously Enchanted Elementium is an old world material, but it does sell quite well on the grand scheme of things. Now, that being the case, that is the Enchanted Elementium at number 2. So other than that, let's jump into number 3. Now, the next thing that the community has actually stated has been really good for everyone is raw gold. Raw gold is a great way in order to make sure that you're going to get a dead set, kind of near on dead set gold per hour for your time invested. Now, the ones that have actually been recommended is the Legion, WOD and MOP raids. Now, doing all of this with Worth It, with the new raw gold module, you'll be able to see what difficulties you'll have to do on them and all of that jazz, so that's not a problem if you wanted to just get started on them. And the barrier to entry for that is like incredibly low. All you have to have is like a max level toon and just run all of those raids. Bear in mind that some of the Legion bosses cannot be run, so just like focus on like LFR and all of that stuff. If you can get in normal and destroy some of them in normal, but other than that, I wouldn't make that your primary method as Legion raids. I would recommend doing your WOD first and then your MOP, then your Legion if you have time in the week before the reset. That's how I would probably go about doing it overall, as WOD gives you the most gold for your time invested overall, and then I would say MOP would be better, and then Legion because you can't clear as much at the moment until Shadowlands. But other than that, really dead simple. You just run in, destroy, complete the raid, and then vendor all of the items and you get a load of raw gold. And overall, it's a decent and healthy amount of raw gold overall. The best one at this moment in time for raw gold is definitely Blackrock Foundry for the time invested to the gold return. Then it would be Hellfire Citadel. So just bear that one in mind going forward. Now, aside from all of that, let's move into number 4, which number 4 is actually a recommended one that a lot of you guys in the Discord have actually mentioned, and that is boosts and carries. Now, I'm not a proprietor of this method, so I don't know an awful lot about it. But the best performing ones that you guys actually recommended was freehold boosting to level up people's ults. All you have to really do for carries and boosting is just by posting that you're going to be selling those in trade chat in Stormwind or something along those lines, and just boosting people through that. Other additional boosts that you can do, however, so boosting carries would be freehold for 110 to 120. You can do the Legion one, which is Neltharian's Lair for people, and that is a good way of order to make gold from getting from 100 to 110. You could sell carries for that, and roughly the going rate is around about 7,000 gold per level. So there's something you may want to bear in mind right there. So along with that, and overall, boosting is seeming to be a very good way in order to make a decent amount of gold moving forward, as it's literally they pay you raw gold and you just provide the actual necessary boost or carry for that. So it's something you may want to bear in mind if you are adequately geared. Now, obviously if you are a booster, I would highly recommend running a boost on a Demon Hunter, at least at eye level 450, as the mobs hit incredibly hard within freehold. With the Legion one, however, the barrier to entry is really low. That is because we're like 120 and we can just blast through everyone. You could do it on a warrior, monk, all that stuff. But the one that is going to be getting you the most buyers will be the freehold one. So that's something you may want to bear in mind right there. Now, other than that, guys, let's move into number 5, which is Inscription. Everyone was just talking about Inscription when I asked the question, what is making you millions? And it is Inscription. Obviously, I love Inscription. I make a lot of gold from Inscription, so I can account for this as well. So I will back this up as well as the community. So doing very, very well on that stead. Now, aside from that, the things that you want to be double down on when it comes to Inscription is tomes, Vanta's runes, and also your glyph market, making sure that you get pretty much every single glyph in your downtime when you've actually posted them on the auction house, in order to maximize the amount of gold, because the more glyphs you can post on the auction house, it's the same as transmog, you have a more variety, you're going to get more sales. It's just that dead simple. Now, that being the case, guys, that's the 5 ways people are making millions right now, part number 2. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.